Hey everybody, Dr. T here. Today we're going to be talking about verbal abuse, where I will go more in depth than I have in some of my previous videos. Verbal domestic violence is a form of abuse where one partner uses words to control, demean, or harm the other, leaving lasting emotional and psychological scars. Verbal domestic violence occurs when a partner repeatedly uses language to intimidate, belittle, or manipulate the other person. It goes beyond occasional arguments or harsh remarks and is characterized by repetition and intent to undermine self-worth and independence. Common forms include constant criticism, insults, name-calling, belittling accomplishments, gaslighting, controlling language, and threats, even if no physical harm occurs, such as "you're stupid" or "how dumb are you?" According to experts, verbal abuse often follows identifiable patterns. It happens behind closed doors. Abusers often target their partner when they're alone. It appears unexpectedly. Abuse may occur when relationships seem fine. Targets happiness or success. Abusers may attack when the partner is visibly happy or achieving goals. It becomes familiar. Repeated behaviors create a sense of habit. And disparages interests, showing disdain for the partner's hobbies or passions. Gaslighting makes the partner question their memory or perception. Controlling behaviors, dictating what the partner can wear, who they can see, or where they can go, such as "you're not wearing that," or "do what I asked or I'll get a divorce." Threats, including threats to children, finances, or reputation. Digital abuse, sending degrading messages, monitoring online activity, or public humiliation via technology. Some red flags to look for when it comes to verbal abuse in a relationship. Name calling. Whether it's a romantic relationship, a parent-child relationship, or a bully on the playground, name calling is unhealthy. Sometimes obvious, sometimes disguised as pet names or teasing, habitual name calling is a method of belittling you. For example, "you don't get it, sweetie, because you're just too dumb," or "it's no wonder everyone says you're a jerk." Patronizing. Patronizing is another attempt to belittle you. The abuser's comments can be sarcastic, disdainful, and patronizing. It's all to make themselves feel superior. For example, "let me see if I can put this in simple terms that even you can understand." Or, "I'm sure you put a lot of effort into your makeup, but go wash it off before someone sees you." Criticism. There's nothing wrong with constructive criticism, but in a verbally abusive relationship, it's particularly harsh and persistent in an attempt to chip away at your self-esteem. For example, "you're always upset about something, always playing the victim. That's why nobody likes you." Or, "you screwed up again, can't you do anything right?" Humiliation, to degrade you. Abusers want you to feel bad about yourself. They employ humiliation and shame to degrade you and eat away at your confidence. For example, "before I came along, you were nothing. Without me, you'll be nothing again. I mean, look at you. Who else would want you?" Manipulation. Manipulation is an attempt to make you do something without making it a direct order. Make no mistake about it, it's meant to control you and keep you off balance. For example, "if you do that, it proves you don't care about your family and everyone will know it." Or, "you'll do this for me if you really loved me." Blame. We're all at fault for something once in a while, but a verbally abusive person blames you for their behavior. They want you to believe that you bring verbal abuse on yourself. For example, "I hate getting into fights, but you make me so mad." or I have to yell because you're so unreasonable and thick-headed. Accusations. If someone is repeatedly accusing you of things, they may be jealous or envious, or perhaps they're the one guilty of that behavior. Either way, it can make you question whether you're doing something inappropriate. For example, I saw the way you looked at them. You can't tell me there's nothing going on there. Or, why won't you give me your cell phone if you've got nothing to hide? Withholding or isolation. Refusing to talk to you, look you in the eye, or even be in the same room with you is meant to make you work harder to get their attention. For example, at a friend's house, you say or do something they don't like. Without a word, they storm out and sit in the car, leaving you to explain and say goodbye to your hosts. Or they know you need to communicate about who's picking up the kids, but they refuse to answer your calls or texts. Gaslighting. Gaslighting is a systematic effort to make you question your own version of events. It can make you apologize for things that aren't your fault. It can also make you more dependent on the abuser. For example, you recall an event, agreement, or argument, and the abuser denies that it happened at all. They may tell you it's all in your mind, you dreamed it, or you're making it up. They tell other people that you're forgetful or have emotional problems to solidify the illusion. Circular arguments. It isn't unusual for two people to disagree or argue about the same thing more than once until they find a common ground. But abusers will reignite that old argument again and again just to push your buttons, never intending to meet in the middle. For example, your job requires you to put in overtime without notice. Every time it happens, the argument about your tardiness starts anew. Or you've made it clear that you're not ready for kids, but your partner brings it up every month. Threats. Outright threats can mean that verbal abuse will escalate. They're meant to frighten you into compliance. For example, when you come home tonight, you might find a for sale sign on the lawn, and I might just be gone with the kids. Or, if you do that, no one would blame me for how I react. Verbal abuse leaves invisible emotional scars that can affect self-esteem, trust, and mental health. Victims may experience anxiety, depression, social withdrawal, and long-term psychological distress. Over time, repeated verbal attacks can make individuals internalize negative messages, leading to feelings of worthlessness and self-doubt. Verbal abuse is increasingly recognized as a form of domestic violence under U.S. law. Federal guidance and many state laws include emotional, psychological, and technological abuse as part of domestic violence definitions. Legal protection depends on the pattern, severity, and intent of the abuse, and victims may be eligible for restraining orders or other protective measures. You can keep a log of all the things that happen, what is said, what the situation was, how often it happens, and this will help to show the pattern of abuse. Victims of verbal domestic violence can access support through domestic violence hotlines, counseling services, and legal assistance. Establishing boundaries, seeking therapy, and connecting with support networks are crucial steps towards healing and safety. Recognizing the abuse is the first step, and recovery is possible with professional guidance and support.
If you or someone you know is in an abusive situation, call the National Helpline at 1-800-799-SAFE or text START to 88788. Everyone deserves a healthy relationship.